Hey everyone, welcome to The Word on the Street Is with Michael and Gaby, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo celebrities and the shows they star in.
We have a little bit of Bravo news to touch on really quick before we dive into the episodes. And that being the first one that comes to mind is Jax and Brittany having their baby. We have another child named Cruz in the Bravo universe.
I mean, it's a cute name. I mean, I actually expected worse from them, so I feel like the name is overused.
It's very overused. I definitely thought they were going to name him Jason or Braxton. Those were my main guesses.
Yeah, I thought Braxton too.
That Braxton Couchy, however you say
Uh,
his last name. Is that how you say it? Couchy? We did get the Beverly Hills trailer, which looks amazing.
I'm super excited for Beverly Hills. It's my personal favorite. I know the last couple of seasons haven't been the best, but I always have high hopes for it. Where it seems to be a lot of Erica. It seems like her story is that she didn't know anything. She's gonna stick by Tom. She doesn't know anything, and that they need to basically ask him. He's the only one that knows like what happened. So
Yeah, it feels like they're setting Erica up to be the villain this season, especially when they showed her uh like standoff with Sutton, the with the or what?
mhm.
Or what?
Or what
I
with her teeth showing.
rewatched that so many times. I love
Yes.
that scene.
It gave me like chills. I was obsessed. I mean, I'm still sticking by Erica. I've always loved her. She's the only housewife I've ever met. I just have like I feel like a strong connection where like I'm not really ever gonna turn on her unless she does something like horrible. I know the whole orphans and victims stuff, but I don't know how much she knew, so I'm
Yeah,
choosing to believe she didn't.
yeah. I also really like Erica too. I'm not as like diehard as Michael is, but I've always like really, really enjoyed her ever since she joined Beverly Hills.
Yeah, and I liked her more back in like season 6 and 7, but I think the fans like are a little bit hard on her, saying like she has no storyline, even though Dorit's storyline last season was her opening a buca de Beppo.
Not
I mean, I'm not saying she has the most storyline, but like I don't know. I feel like they're a little bit hard on her.
Dorit didn't even open a full Buca de Beppo. She just opened a room inside of
Yeah.
the Beppo.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd
But
be
then
more, I'd be impressed if she bought like stocks in the company.
when Erica does Broadway, it's like, oh, that's her only storyline.
Yeah,
So I don't know. She can't really win with the Bravo fans. So
it's odd how some housewives are like that. How some housewives they can get away with anything, like Denise. Like we still have people commenting on our Instagram being like, "We love Denise. Like, how can you say these things about her?" Not that we say horrible things about her or anything.
yeah, exactly.
All the Denise fans swoop in anytime she's in one of our posts, and I just don't get it.
I just think they have like this thing against the gang ups because it happened to LVP, and some of the LVP stands are like diehard, so they automatically hate anything that has to do with that group, like Rena, Erica, Kyle, Teddy, and well, Dorit's part of it, but they don't really count Dorit for whatever reason.
Yeah, Dorit kind of came out unscathed with that because everyone
Yeah, it's
become huge Dorit stands.
yeah, it's weird how that happened. Like going into last season, I actually hated Dorit, but now I like her. But it seems like she's gonna be one of the ones to bring up Erica's stuff too. So in the trailer, she's like orphans and something
And widows.
and widows. Yeah,
Did you hear the way she said it? She said it like super like breathy with her like her
yeah,
accent. But
exactly.
it's so funny because I really, like many other people, couldn't stand Dorit when she joined, and I cannot believe what a glow up she's had personality wise. And
Mhm.
I last season especially was living for her style and her fashion.
I love her now. I mean, she's not like one of my queens, but I do really like her now. She's definitely had a huge change of opinion on her. And then I loved how they started the trailer with the whole like 2 truths and 1 lie. I don't know.
It's very dramatic. I was really
Yeah.
here for it.
And then I'm so here for Crystal telling she tells Sutton that she's jealous, she's
Insecure,
awkward.
insecure too, right? Didn't she say insecure?
Yeah, insecure, jealous, awkward person. And then Sutton goes, jealous of what? Your ugly leather pants?
I know. And then I like look back at Crystal's outfit and Sutton's outfit. I liked Crystal's outfit way better.
Exactly. Who is Sutton to be judging someone else's looks? Because,
Oh, I'm so excited to get to know Crystal even more so than
yeah.
I was before. I really, really have liked everything I've read about her, as we've talked about before, and then seeing her like in action, if you will, and the trailers
Mhm.
made me really excited.
I know, because I had this preseason, like pre-trailer feeling that I was like, I just have a good feeling about Crystal, but I'm not sure how she is in drama. And then seeing her go off on Sutton, I'm like, okay, I'm totally here for her now. So I'm already really standing Crystal, and she's gonna be friends with Erica. So I'm I'm Team Crystal already.
What I really liked about Crystal from the trailer was her voice. She has a really nice like cadence to her voice. I
Hmm.
love the way it sounds. Even when she was like telling off Sutton, it still sounded really like nice sounding.
Yeah, but she's definitely not afraid of the drama. So
Yeah.
and And after watching the trailer, it made sense why Sutton got her diamond, because she's in all the drama that they showed.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so curious to see like what changed in her family dynamic to now allow her to be a full-time cast member.
yeah, and I'm curious to see like what her storylines will be and what personal stuff they show of her. And I like Garcelle, but again, it seems like they barely showed her at all. So, I really wanted more from her last season. So, I hope that I'm not disappointed in what we get from her, but I really didn't see much. So,
Yeah. And also, before we dive into Atlanta, I just wanted to talk about the cast photo. I liked it, but it was kind of a mishmash of colors and styles.
the
Yeah,
diamonds
that
one
one.
was weird. Yeah.
I liked what they were going for. Like when you glance at it, it's nice, like, oh, rainbow colors. And then you look, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
none of these dresses go together, and like none of the styles do. I do love Kyle's dress, though. It's actually my favorite color.
I like Rena's and Kyle's. Yeah, I like Crystal's.
Rinna always has a really good opening tagline dress.
Yeah. I'm excited for the taglines too.
Yeah, they haven't released those yet. And when speaking of taglines, the RHONJ taglines were released today.
Hmm. I wasn't super impressed.
I like Leah's. I was really disappointed with Leah's.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of liked it, but like last season's was so much better.
Yeah, she had two great taglines last season.
Oh yeah, there were two. And
Yeah,
I thought she could have done something with like tiki torches, or I don't know, you know what I mean?
I
Something clever, cuz or bitch I elevate this shit, like something like that, cuz she had some good lines last year, but
it's so such an
yeah,
iconic.
they were okay.
Yeah, I liked Ebony's the best.
Yeah, I liked Ebony's a lot.
Ramona,
Ramona's was the worst for me.
Ramona's just seemed like a pre-apology that.
She always like is trying to justify her bad behavior, so
So now we are going to dive into the newest episode of Atlanta. This episode comes a week before the finale episode, which is pretty crazy. And we started off with everybody doing a tasting at one of Candy's new restaurants.
yeah, I thought the food looked good. We also got an apology from Marlo, which I don't know how sincere it was, but I'll take it. And then we also learned that Kenya was pretty anxious because Mark was coming, or he was in town, which I don't blame her. I probably wouldn't have been able to focus on anything either. So,
Ugh, I'm so sick of hearing about Mark, and I I thought it was so weird when they showed like the footage of Brooklyn's birthday party that his face was blurred out too.
I don't understand that at all.
Like, we all know what he looks like. He was on the show, his daughter was on the show. He's like just doing it to be as difficult as possible, which really speaks
Yeah.
to his character.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything like not seeing him. So I don't really understand.
Yeah, he's a horrible person, and I
Yeah.
really want Kenya to just like wash her hands of him.
Yeah, I'm over him.
And then we have all of this drama that has developed from this potential relationship with Prophet Lot, who is not Latoya, who is Drew's pastor, I believe. And there's now some commingling between him and Latoya. And
I'm honestly completely team Latoya on this because it's not only Latoya's relationship. Like Prophet Lot he's partaking in this relationship as well, but of course it's Latoya that's ruining the christening or whatever. And it's like, it's not that deep. Like, find another person, like Candy said. I mean, I think she's blowing it way out of proportion and just blaming everything on Latoya. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Drew is like really annoying me with this.
yeah, she's like, you ruined the whole thing. Like, I have to cancel it. And I'm like, but why? Like, Prophet Lot can't be the only person capable of performing the ceremony for you.
Yeah.
It just felt like stupid, made up, unnecessary drama.
Yeah. And you're letting Latoya have this much power over you that like you're gonna cancel your christening because of it. I think that's really stupid.
Yeah, so I couldn't get behind Drew on this. And honestly, her and Latoya are like oil and water. They've never mixed well. They've never been able to mix. Anytime they like start to extend an olive branch, everything seems to go awry.
Yeah. And I think the same, like Drew and Kenya will never get along either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
I
really
think Kenya thinks Drew is like really kind of tacky.
Yeah, and I also feel like Kenya, and I don't agree with her on this. I feel like she thinks Drew's beneath her, which I don't
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I really don't like that about Kenya.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Oh, I thought it was so funny when Marlo pulled out that hand sanitizer out of her Prada boots. That was
I love that.
I live for Marlo. And remember when she ordered the pizza and the wings and she's like, Kenya like never has any food. Like who has people over and doesn't even like offer to like serve any food?
Oh yeah, just like she did when she hosted her trip.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if I were her friends always showing up to stuff that she's hosting and like she never even has like snacks out.
I know. I agree. I am kind of sad Latoya's not coming back. I mean, I understand why, because she's kind of a big liability. I feel like she starts like crazy drama, but she's entertaining. I don't know.
She is entertaining, but I get that the show might be getting rid of her as a liability. I just hope that they either are doing a big cast shakeup or they bring in some other friends of that are as equally entertaining.
Yeah, I think that they just need to have more Peaches next season. I think 5 is too little because I like a lot of the friends, but they're not really featured as much. I think that they need to have a bigger cast and then like 2 or 3 friends rather than like 5 full time and then 5 friends. I think it's too many friends and too little full time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked this season, but I have to say it's really not my favorite. I do think it's an off season for Atlanta.
Yeah, it's definitely not Atlanta's best season, especially like while we're both doing the rewatch, like the the first few seasons and then the like midway seasons, like 6, 7, 8, all are like such iconic seasons.
Yeah. And then like when Nene left and Kim Fields came on, I think that was kind of an off season.
Yeah.
But besides that, they really have had mostly really good seasons. So
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you think Drew's going to come back?
It's hard to say. It's kind of a 50-50 for me because she brought it in some ways, but as a housewife, but not in every way. So
Yeah.
I kind of like to give All Housewives a second season, but I don't know if she's like earned that.
Yeah, like I wanted to like Drew a lot more, but and I don't dislike her, but she just didn't fully do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she was like so bad as like Kim Fields or others that only got one season. But I don't know. I would say give her one more season, but I'm not like fully on the Drew train.
Yeah, same. I definitely will be okay with her getting a second season. But if she doesn't get it, then that's fine. But like I said, I like when housewives get a second chance to redeem themselves. And if they can't do it after a second season, then we just
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah. Unless they're like so bad as like Amber Marchese or Kim Fields or Peggy Salahian.
Yeah, or Peggy was so bad. Who's another really bad one?
Catherine Edwards.
Yeah, she was like a half season wonder. She
Yeah,
should been like a full season.
she was terrible. I mean, I don't think Drew is on that level, which is why I would give her another, but
Yeah, agreed. So now we are going to head over into Dallas to talk about our Real Housewives of Dallas ladies, where they are still on this trip in Oklahoma.
yeah. So they played like this obstacle course game, which was, I guess, fun. I don't know. I feel like Dallas is kind of gimmicky that way where they don't really have enough drama, and I don't think they're like entertaining enough to just like hang out, where they always have to be playing like some kind of game or something,
Mhm.
and it just kind of gets old. I don't know.
It's not like Beverly Hills where they can have like a nice dinner at someone's house and it like fully delivers, like drama wise,
Yeah.
aesthetic wise, and like just a really lavish dinner that we love to see on the Housewives.
Or even on Beverly Hills, when they did have a game night, it turned into one of the most iconic fights. Like that would never happen on Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah, Beverly Hills always has such great themed parties
Yeah.
that go haywire.
Yeah, because like they did the charades that one time. Like there's always like a game, but it's not the full episode. Like it's
Okay.
part of it, but then they have like a nice dinner and then there's like a fight. Whereas
Like
like
poker night.
Dallas, all Dallas is like, oh, we're gonna do a Jim Bob's obstacle course. Like it's just so dumb.
I agree. I agree 100%. And I wish Dallas didn't have to like revolve around their games. Like Beverly Hills, their theme is always just like secondary to the drama.
Exactly.
But we
Yeah. Yeah. But I did think it was funny how Cam didn't listen and then she dove right into the
I
foam.
know that was funny. And Carrie, she's like certifiably insane. Like, who does that? Like, they're putting all that, like, was it salsa or like,
Tomato juice or something.
yeah, all over the bed?
Uh,
That was like, that was,
I mean, the smell would have pissed me off too because I don't really like smells, but that is like, I feel like on just a whole nother level. And that's not like, it's like a rental home. So I just think it's really disrespectful, not only to Cam, whoever's bed that was Cam, and then like this is someone's house and like bed and sheets that all need to be cleaned.
also, Carrie is 50. We just
Doesn't act it.
just throw that out there. Like she's a
Yeah.
50-year-old pouring salsa or marinara, whatever that was, all over people's beds in retaliation to like a fart smell.
That's something that would literally happen on Bad Girls Club. I don't know if you ever watched that, but they would do like nasty shit like that. Like it was that level. And the way that you see how dirty that house was, like they just absolutely were pigs. I'm
Well,
sorry, it was gross.
speaking of pigs,
Well, yeah.
they were I couldn't even when they were like picking up the carcass, like I couldn't even look at that. Like the head and everything. That was so disgusting.
It was so gross. And then they invited that stupid guy back. What was the point of him coming back? He was so dumb.
I, I was like, is this guy really getting another episode? Are you freaking kidding me?
Like, what did he even do? Like, I just do not understand it at all.
Yeah. Well,
Dallas.
we are hearing that Dallas like Atlanta might be having a cast shakeup.
Well, they tease it for every city, OC, Dallas, Atlanta,
Yeah.
which I think all of them need it. So I would be happy with that. I think like we said before, I think Brandy's gone. Stephanie could go or be a friend.
Oh my gosh. How many times does Stephanie, when she's like trying to comfort them or make a point, go, girl, like, girl.
Yeah, I know. Because she has a hard time really like saying how she feels. So I think that's her like comfort word to make it like seem less harsh.
Girl, you owe an apology. Girl, this is so messy. Girl.
Yeah, it's always
Girl,
that.
learn a new word.
I noticed that too.
It's like the more uncomfortable the situation, the more she says girl. So
Yeah.
actually, I think it might be a nervous thing, but I guess I really noticed it this episode just how much she says that.
I noticed it the episode before when she was mad at Carrie for like being rude to the guy.
It's just funny to me.
And I thought the Cam psychic thing was so cringy. Like,
Yeah.
like, does Louis care if the dog wears the clothes? And then the psychic's answers were like really cringy to me. Like she was like making it seem like the dog was like so sassy, and it was just really cringy to me. Well, he's always gonna be here in spirit, he says. Or like something dumb. Like I'm like, this is so dumb. I'm sorry.
Cam's whole storyline with the dogs is so dumb.
I
And
agree.
another thing I thought was cringy was her in Court's confessional.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, life is so hard. It's just so nice to have this like pink bubble around. And I was like, when have you ever talked about Cam this way? He always seems really annoyed by her.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
I don't really like either of them, so
He is one of the most unappealing house husbands to me, but I'd still take him over Brian, Brandy's husband.
yeah, I
Which,
wouldn't
I mean,
take.
that's just the lesser of two evils.
If I had to pick a Dallas husband, I would pick Jeremy probably.
Yeah, I think same for me, Jeremy. You wouldn't pick Leanne's man, Rick, with the eye patch?
Oh, I don't know. He's better than most of them still, I would say.
Yeah.
Like I don't like Stephanie's. I don't like. Oh, actually, I kind of like Carrie's. Well, we don't really see him that much.
Oh, I thought you meant Carrie Duber. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Eduardo.
yeah, Eduardo. I kind of like him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not bad looking. And then who else?
Carrie treats him like trash too.
Yeah, she like wants to, it's like she only is in the marriage for the money.
And then she cries because if like they were to get divorced, she'd have no money. But then she treats him like trash.
Yeah, I could see why he's not around on the show anymore.
I don't blame him. I want the reunion, even though I don't know what it's gonna be. But I did want to mention this. So Carrie had COVID on the plane.
That's right.
And Brandy sat next to her, so they both had to like be on there virtually. But then that same night, Carrie was like out at a gay bar club.
So irresponsible.
But it's Carrie, so I'm not really surprised.
How could you be that irresponsible?
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, let's move on to our Jersey girls.
Yeah, so this episode was kind of surprising to me because Teresa was not in it very much, which doesn't ever happen.
I know, it's like they're revolving the rest of the season around Melissa.
Yeah, it does seem that way. And her marriage with Joe. Like Joe is like such a big part of the storyline this season.
Just so fake.
And I felt really bad for Jennifer's mom. Like that whole dynamic that they have going on is really difficult. Like her parents can't stand each other. And I completely forgot her mom was 16 years old and her dad was 26 when they got set up. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I know every culture is different, but like, what is the point in setting up someone at 16 years old to get married? Like, you're not even like a woman, you're not even 18 yet.
I know. And then you're like stuck with this person that you don't even want to be with. And I just think she has a lot of resentment over it. And I don't blame her.
And and Jennifer's always saying how divorce is very taboo in their culture. So it's like, it just seems so unfair to like make a 16-year-old girl marry someone forever and then say, oh, if you get divorced, that's going to look terrible.
Yeah, it's like they have no control over their lives.
Yeah, it's really, really sad. And it like clearly has just led to two people, Jennifer's parents, who are like deeply unhappy.
Yeah.
So that was sad to see. And then after that, after all the stuff going on with Jennifer's parents, and like Bill was having to like get involved in all of that. So after that, we saw a medium coming to Teresa's house, and like all the ladies were like all like glammed up for
Yeah.
reading.
Well, I was surprised that the medium didn't have anything to say about Melissa's long lost sister. You know, I thought that was such a big thing, right?
Well, it's that just cements it then that that was a fake storyline if Melissa
Yeah.
wasn't going to ask about that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we knew it, but it's just funny to
Yeah,
see
that just
that now.
it.
That was literally probably my least favorite storyline ever. That was so dumb. But I thought this medium, like usually mediums, I feel like are pretty dumb, like the one that Cam had. But I thought this medium was actually really good. I
Yeah.
don't know.
She didn't seem like she was like spewing out stuff that she could just Google. I did think it was funny though when Jackie was like talking to her family about it, and she was like, and she knew that our grandma's name was Esther. They're like, well, 90% of Jewish grandmothers are named Esther. I thought that was
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah, that was funny. And I thought it was funny how Dolores, when the medium was like, oh, your relationship is like gonna fail or whatever, she's like, okay. But then when they brought up the dog, she's like devastated.
Yeah, I know. But David, like, he sucks. I know he's a doctor. I know he has a great career, but he just like he doesn't celebrate Dolores.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a weird
And he just
relationship.
has such like a bump on a log personality, like, oh, okay, I'm going to sniper school. Oh, I'm leaving to go to work. Like he just always
Yeah.
so like Dolores just has so much more like life to her, like so much more like, and she's so like va va voom. She gives me like
Mhm.
Sofia Vergara vibes, like, and David is just like this guy who just doesn't deserve this gorgeous woman.
Yeah. And I wonder what he's like off camera, but on camera, it's not too appealing. I also really like Dolores's new confessional look with that kind of lighter green
Mhm.
dress. I thought she looked really good there.
Yeah. Yeah, this past season, she's really been dressing great and like really like outlining her curves, and it everything she's been wearing is just looking really flattering on her. And it's been this season especially giving me Sofia Vergara vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks great. Oh, and I also wanted to talk about Marge. I feel like Marge has been really annoying me lately, but I feel like she's just really reaching to just try to have a problem with Jennifer.
Yeah.
Like the whole Instagram live thing, I really didn't think it was a big deal. Like, okay, I mean, yeah, like first world problems, like whatever, but she was making it such a big deal. And I'm like, do you really care that much?
Yeah, I think she's gotten to the point with Jennifer that Jennifer could be sitting across the room eating a brownie and it would piss Margaret off.
Yeah.
They're at that point, and I do agree, like devil's advocate, I do think it was a bit tone deaf of Jennifer to be like, I need a housekeeper, or I mean, I need a nanny. I think a housekeeper is degrading to say. I didn't like that. And then um when Margaret was like, some people still haven't gotten their second stimulus check, and like you're freaking out that you don't have a live-in nanny. So like
Yeah. I mean,
Margaret on that, but I also think she's hypersensitive to Jennifer at this point because everything Jennifer does annoys her.
yeah, I just feel like she wants to have a problem with Jennifer, and it's just really annoying to me.
I think going after Jennifer this year is part of Margaret's storyline.
For sure. Because I feel like Jennifer's the easiest one in Marge's eyes to go after.
Yeah, I think so
Because
too.
she's least scared of Jennifer, and she probably thinks Jennifer has the least standing in the group. besides Jackie, but she's friends with Jackie, so
Her and Jackie, I think, are genuine. Her and Melissa also, I think, are pretty good friends. Like they've hit it off since Marge joined the show. Like
yeah.
they really bonded over fashion, and like Margaret had taken to her some of the shows in Italy. And so I know Melissa really looks up to Margaret with fashion stuff. So I think their friendship is actually authentic. And then after the whole hair pulling thing with Danielle and Margaret and Teresa, like being the instigator, she treads very lightly around Teresa, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, Teresa doing that should have been a way bigger issue, but I feel like Marge is scared of Teresa like most people are, so that's why she goes after Jennifer. Because Jennifer, I mean, there is two cliques. It's Dolores, Jennifer, and Teresa, and then it's Marge, Melissa, and Jackie.
Yeah.
So I feel like Jennifer's the easiest one to go after with like Dolores and Teresa are like scarier. So
That is very true.
but like she should have made a way bigger deal about Teresa instigating that, and she really didn't. But I think it still bugs her. I just think she's scared of Teresa.
I mean, I would be too.
Yeah. She mentioned it like a couple episodes ago, and I don't remember exactly, but like I think it does bug her, but I don't know.
The number one housewife I wouldn't want to get in a fight with would be Kenya Moore, and number two would probably be Teresa.
Yeah, I would not want to fight with Kenya or
Remember
Marlo.
Do you remember what Kenya said? I think it was Marlo this season. She said, if you come at me with a taser or a gun, I'm going to come back with a machine gun. And that is why I do love Kenya, because I do admire her that she grew up really tough and she can definitely defend herself. I like that about Kenya.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't mess with her.
I know. I admire that.
Yeah. And don't fight with LVP because she'll never apologize to you. So
yeah, I feel like at least with Kenya, you get some type of like resolution. LVP, there's not ever resolution. Like with the tabloid thing with Brandy, we never got the resolution for that.
Yeah. Or half the stuff.
Yeah. So now we're going to head out of the States and into the beautiful blue waters of Croatia for below deck sailing yacht. And we've got some new charter guests. Yeah, they were new guests who've chartered on the boat before. And we've seen Natasha and Daisy clashing again over the food. And Natasha, I do really like her, but she's very stubborn and she like won't take any constructive criticism from Daisy at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Daisy isn't coming from a bad place, but I think that Natasha doesn't like to be critiqued. So there's not really anything you can say to her.
Those eggs were obviously scrambled.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, I don't like to be like, oh, what is she thinking? Maybe in Trinidad, where she's from, or like where she's cooked in Europe, maybe an over easy egg does look like a scrambled egg.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. And Daisy clearly is just sick of like going back and forth with Natasha and rather just bring it up to the guests and have them prove Natasha wrong, because Natasha just doesn't want to listen to Daisy.
Needs back up.
Natasha gets really, really defensive with Daisy about food.
Yeah, and Natasha's a pretty like knowledgeable chef. Like she seemed like she's pretty good. She knows what she's doing. So that's why I thought there maybe was like a miscommunication about over easy, because I feel like she would know, or she was taught that a different way. I don't know.
Yeah. There's just a huge disconnect between Daisy and Natasha, which sucks because if they worked well together, they could pull off such a great charter. But they both have too big of egos.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever gonna really get along. So
no, and I thought it was really funny when Colin accidentally got locked underneath the like, it's like a basement for a boat, but you can't get out once the door is closed.
Oh yeah, it's like
you left me down there in his adorable Aussie accent. He's like, you left me down there to die. Daisy. I thought that was funny. So like the moments like,
Yeah.
between the crew are always really fun.
Yeah. I thought there would be like, I usually like the episodes between charter guests because the crew like parties more, but because they had the crew the next charter the next day, they didn't really party as much as they normally do.
Yeah.
Except Allie went and woke up JL.
Yeah, he got really mad about that. I mean, if somebody kept like coming in trying to wake me up multiple times, I
Yeah.
would like finally tell them to like take a hike too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy about that. But
I love JL. I think he's really funny.
I don't really like him. I find him really boring and like just kind of bland, but
Yeah, he's
I
really
don't know.
tall, so it makes him cuter and fun to look at.
Yeah.
And Sydney, like she's like so obsessed with Gary. Like she's like in love with him.
I just think she's kind of desperate. I think
Yeah.
like she said, which is kind of sad. Like whenever she has no one to hang out with, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go like through my roster." Like she relies on men, like
Yeah.
an attention for like her self-esteem, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. And JL called it. She's like a stage 1000 clinger, like with Gary at this.
Yeah, and Gary is not a catch at all. Like
Yeah,
I
the
hate
only thing
him.
he has going for him is his accent.
I wouldn't even give him that. Like not he's not cute at all.
No, I don't think he's cute, especially I don't like his like
I
chopped
hate his
off
hair.
haircut. I just love his accent.
His
And he is fun.
personality is not appealing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get the appeal from Sydney. And then I really don't, or I mean, I don't get the appeal to Sydney. And I also don't get why Sydney enjoys like hanging out third wheel with him and Allie while they like blatantly flirt in front of her.
Yeah, exactly. And then she always like somehow ends up in his bed.
Yeah, like I just want to make girl take a hint. Like he's like blatantly
Yeah.
flirting with another girl in front of you. I just don't understand why this is so appealing to you. And he's your boss.
She's so desperate. But I mean, at the same time, he should never have like slept with her to begin with, but it's just a bad situation.
But yeah, these charter guests seem like they're going to be pretty high maintenance, which I always like to see.
Yeah, better. Anything's better than Barry.
Oh God, I'm so glad those people are off the freaking ship. Like
I know.
I didn't need, I couldn't watch one more meal of them eating.
No. And like the whole engagement was weird.
So
Like
weird.
you said, like he did not seem very excited. It was just weird.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Word on the Street Is. We are both very excited because this coming week, Michael and I are actually going to be meeting in real life in Palm Springs. So we're going to have a little bit of delay uploading probably the next week's podcast because we're going to be finally hanging out together in Palm Springs. And that is going to be our number one priority. So we're really excited. We've been doing this podcast now this is our 26th episode. So it's going to be really, really exciting to meet each other in person.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And we'll probably be doing a lot of Bravo TikToks and recreating some scenes maybe. So
yes,
it'll be super fun.
It's going to be great. And we can't wait to dish all about it with you when we get back.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.